Hello everyone, my name is JJ, and today you are going to come with me as we go on a trip to the most exciting place in the world, Saskatchewan. This is actually the shortest, longest trip I've ever been on, so I'm going to Regina this morning, and then I'm coming back to Vancouver tomorrow night. I'm going to a party tonight hosted by a famous Canadian politician. I probably shouldn't say who it is, so let's just say... No, wait, that's too obvious. Let's say... Very short flight, only 3 hours. I mean, look, I'm here already. So Saskatchewan is one of the flat prairie provinces of Canada, and Regina is its capital. Regina means queen in Latin, one of the many world capitals named after noted egomaniac Queen Victoria. I would say it is one of the most obscure of Canada's provincial capitals. I don't know that Regina is really known for anything, except for possibly being the headquarters of the beloved Mounties. These sort of brown brick buildings is something I very much associate with the prairies. I am not going to lie, this is one of the most underwhelming cities I've ever been to. So much so that it is making me second guess my ability to suss a video out of this experience. Okay, so here we are at the Saskatchewan Parliament. Right over there, one of the 9 remaining parliaments of Canada that I have not been denounced in. Figured this thing might be interesting for a visit, so let's go inside. Okay, so check this out. This is a statue of Walter Scott, who was the first Prime Minister of Saskatchewan. And I've heard about this statue because it's quite gimmicky. So if we go around to the back side and we scroll up, we can see that Sir Walter is holding the blueprints of the Saskatchewan Parliament. And what I have heard is that if you position yourself just right, you can get the, well, I'm not exactly doing it, but you get the idea. You can basically get the silhouette on his blueprints to match up with the silhouette of the actual legislature, thus showing the man's great visionary dream coming to fruition. As you can see here, there is a permanent protest taking place on the lawn of the provincial parliament. A bunch of Aboriginal people have erected a bunch of little teepees in order to protest the, general lot of the Aboriginal people of this country. And then, of course, what provincial parliament would be complete without a statue of the Queen. There's a lot of statues of the Queen on horseback in Canada. Don't quite know why. But you can tell that this statue was commissioned by the federal government because, as it says, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth on this side. But then, of course, on this side, it says, Sa Majesty la Reine Elizabeth II. So, the federal government is happy to give you money for your statues as long as they are bilingual. Prince Charles only gets this crappy door. So, unfortunately, they didn't let me take any video footage inside this building for some reason, so we'll just have to look at some still photos. So, I feel like you basically know what Parliament type buildings are like inside. They have a dome, they have lots of pillars and murals. Here's the part where all the politicians sit and debate. Saskatchewan is quite a conservative province under the rule of the Saskatchewan Party. Here's all their seats versus the amount of seats that the NDP opposition has. And then this was the part where they had the gallery of all the old premiers. I always enjoy this sort of thing. Here is good old Tommy Douglas, perhaps one of the most famous premiers in Canadian history. He was the first NDP premier of Saskatchewan and indeed all of Canada. He's part of the reason why Saskatchewan seems to have so many government-run industries like Sask Power and Sask Energy and SaskTel. Over here they had a little display of Saskatchewan symbols, including this sheaf of wheat, which is one of their most iconic symbols. You see it all over everything in this province. This little flag here is obviously the Saskatchewan flag, but then this flag over here, this is the Saskatchewan Francophone flag. So the federal government has imposed these flags for the French-Canadian communities of every province. I think it's a little bit weird since a lot of these provinces, including Saskatchewan, do not actually have very many French-speaking people. But, the federal government insists on perpetuating this fantasy. Weirdly enough, the parliament also contained a gallery of artwork celebrating the fans of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, which is the name of the Saskatchewan football team. Saskatchewanners are known for being huge football fans. This guy over here kind of looks like the guy from the Lorax. This swanky park that the legislature is located on is supposed to be one of Saskatchewan's great symbols of pride as well. And just around the corner is the Royal Saskatchewan Museum. I'm not really in the mood for a museum right now after that legislature tour, but I want to see the gift shop. Maybe they have some cool Saskatchewan symbols for sale. So we have lots of stuff made out of Saskatoon berries, which is sort of the iconic berry of Saskatchewan. And then we have grain elevator magnets, okay. Okay, so now I'm back in my hotel room because it has started to thunderstorm outside. And what we're going to do now is we're going to look at these postcards that I bought because they are quite a revealing window into this city and province. Okay, so first we have this card here, which is called Images of Saskatchewan. And as you can see, we have some depictions of the things that Saskatchewan is best known for. Farms, flat fields, farms and flat fields, and I suppose the occasional river. And then we have the slightly more exciting images of Regina. This one we have a picture of the Parliament, where we just were, and the Royal Saskatchewan Museum, which we also just were. The lady at the gift shop told me that this was a picture of the Children's Science Museum. And then this is a picture of the Saskatchewan Art Gallery. So as you can see, lots of things to see and do in your choice of one of 4 drab gray buildings. This one here is a little bit more feisty. Well, the woman at the gift shop and the woman at the hotel did not know what this building was. It's some sort of red-topped church, which I suppose is maybe iconic in some way. And we got this Saskatchewan flag in the middle. And we got these 2 buildings here, which are right in downtown Saskatchewan. I saw them right here. They're kind of cool, I guess. They sort of punctuate the skyline, which is not otherwise really dominated by too much. And then I also bought this charming book, the Saskatchewan Book of Everything, in an effort to learn more about this province. All of the fun facts that have been interspliced throughout this video come from here. Okay, so this is actually kind of interesting. I'm at a farmer's market here in Regina. Saskatchewan is known for having a ton of farmers, and I guess every so often they come to town to sell their wares.
Purple carrots or whatever.
Fresh roasted nuts, guys. Hawaiian for salad.
Morning.
How's it going?
No, it's up here.
Okay, so for lunch, I got a very Saskatchewan thing. See, it is perogies, the traditional Ukrainian blob food. The Canadian prairies are famous for having a lot of people of Ukrainian heritage in them, which is a throwback to the early 20th century in which the Canadian government incentivized a lot of people from the former Russian Empire to come and settle and live here. To this day, you still meet a lot of Saskatchewan people with Ukrainian last names. The pierogies are so popular in Saskatchewan that they have kind of emerged as an almost sort of de facto Canadian food. They're quite popular now in other parts of the country as well. I remember when I was in college, this was sort of the go-to meal that a lot of people would prepare in their dorm rooms. And here is Regina City Hall. You can see that they are flying the flag of the Métis Nation. The Métis people are mixed race folks who are part Indian, part white, usually part French. Historically very important community in the prairies of Canada. Saskatchewan is known for having one of the highest populations of Aboriginal people as a percentage of the provincial population. Oh my God, it is windy here. I think it is because the land is so flat. There are no mountains, like where I come from, to break the wind. Here is the Mosaic Stadium, which is where the Riders play. I notice you see the British flag flying a lot here. Kind of a very sort of old-fashioned symbol of Canadian patriotism that obviously goes back to the colonial days. Alright, so here we are inside of the official Riders gift shop. Got little dolls of the Riders mascot, who's a gopher. I see his name is Gainer. Okay. They also have merchandise from the Humboldt Broncos. This was quite a tragic story recently where a young amateur hockey team, a bunch of them got killed in a bus accident. So I guess the gift shop is attempting to make some money off of that. Okay, so here I am at the Regina International Airport. And now I'm back home. So yes, that was my 24-hour trip to Regina, Saskatchewan. My first ever visit to that particular province. I'm not gonna lie, I have been to more exciting places in my life, but I hope you enjoyed the video just the same. As longtime viewers of this channel will know, there is nothing I love more than learning about culture and symbols. And sometimes visiting a smaller or more obscure place can actually be kind of fun because it makes that learning a little bit more of a challenge. When you visit a place like Regina, the locals will often be like, there's no culture here. But, you know, if you look hard enough, you can usually find at least 10 minutes worth. So let me know in the comments if you enjoy these sort of travel videos and if you have any ideas for some other boring, obscure place I could visit. I mean, how bad could it possibly be?